Exploring the Divide Around DEI Initiatives. By Darius Spearman, African Elements. Support African Elements at patreon.com/African Elements and hear recent news in a single playlist. Additionally, you can gain early access to ad-free video content. The escalating right-wing activism against DEI. Christopher Rufo's DEI opposition campaign. Christopher Rufo boldly challenges DEI, sparking widespread discussion. Significantly, his activism has not only drawn attention but also led to legislative changes, such as the notable Texas's SB 17. Texas's Senate Bill 17, SB 17, is legislation that significantly impacts diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives at public institutions of higher education within the state. Signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott in 2023, bill prohibits public higher education institutions from engaging in DEI activities as defined by the legislation. Key aspects of SB 17 include: public institutions of higher education cannot establish or maintain DEI officers, employees, or contractors that perform the duties of a DEI office. The bill restricts the ability of these institutions to require related training that involves DEI concepts. It defines DEI offices as units established for purposes such as influencing hiring or employment practices based on race, sex, color, or ethnicity, promoting differential treatment or special benefits based on these characteristics, and conducting trainings or activities designed in reference to race, color, ethnicity, gender identity, or sexual orientation, except as allowed under specific conditions. SB 17 also prohibits spending money appropriated to public institutions of higher education for DEI activities starting from the state fiscal year 2024. Finally, the governing board of each public institution of higher education or its designee is required to testify before the standing legislative committees with primary jurisdiction over higher education at a public hearing regarding compliance with the bill's provisions. This legislation has sparked considerable debate, with supporters arguing that it promotes merit-based hiring and academic freedom. Meanwhile, opponents contend that it undermines efforts to create diverse and inclusive educational environments. Christopher Rufo, the conservative activist who played a pivotal role in forcing Gay's resignation, stated this view bluntly on X, formerly known as Twitter, following Gay's ouster: "Today, we celebrate victory. Tomorrow, we get back to the fight. We must not stop until we have abolished DEI ideology from every institution in America." News 1. Moreover, Rufo's influence marks a critical point in the ongoing debate over DEI in education. Claudine Gay's resignation amidst conservative pressures. Additionally, Claudine Gay's departure from Harvard underscores the intense pressures DEI advocates face. Furthermore, her resignation serves as a powerful example of the conservative push against diversity initiatives within prestigious academic institutions. Days after the resignation of Claudine Gay, the first black president of Harvard University, students, faculty, alumni, observers, and Gay herself are sounding alarms that her resignation was the outcome of mounting political pressure from conservatives, Vox. Therefore, the controversy surrounding DEI continues to evolve, reflecting broader societal and political dynamics. Nationwide legislation against DEI programs. Similarly, a wave of legislative actions across various states aims to curb DEI initiatives. Specifically, laws enacted in Florida, Texas, and other states have sparked heated debates over the role of diversity in education. Consequently, these legislative efforts reveal the political undercurrents influencing educational policy and diversity efforts. The impact of anti-DEI policies on education. Lastly, the push against DEI initiatives raises significant concerns about academic freedom and the mission of higher education. Critics argue that anti-DEI legislation not only undermines the principles of diversity and inclusion but also poses a threat to the educational environment as a whole. Legislative and public policy battles against DEI. The crusade against DEI extends into the legislative domain, revealing deep societal divides. Firstly, numerous states have crafted laws to curb DEI endeavors. This wave of legislation, notably in states like Florida and Texas, underscores a national contest over educational values. In the past year, a number of states have begun to dismantle their DEI programs. News 1. Moreover, these legal actions signify a pivotal shift, thrusting DEI into the political arena. Additionally, the repercussions for academic settings are profound, sparking dialogues on diversity's place in education. Nationwide legislation against DEI programs. Importantly, the legislative pushback represents more than isolated incidents, it's part of a broader agenda. States such as Alabama, Utah, Texas, and Florida have all enacted anti-DEI laws. These measures vary from banning diversity training to outright dismantling DEI offices. Subsequently, these laws have ignited a fierce debate on academic freedom and the essence of higher education. Critics of these policies argue they stifle discussion and learning about diversity and inclusion, essential for preparing students for a global society. The impact of anti-DEI policies on education. Furthermore, the anti-DEI movement's impact extends beyond the legislative text, affecting the very core of educational philosophy. Critics contend these efforts not only undermine DEI's principles but also endanger the inclusive atmosphere crucial for learning. Republican lawmakers have introduced 40 anti-DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion bills targeting higher education institutions since late 2022. Insight into diversity. Thus, the struggle over DEI is not just about policy but also about the values that will shape the future of American education. The debate over these initiatives reflects broader questions about who we are as a society and what we aspire to become. Racism's role in shaping public opinion on DEI. Delving deeper, racism significantly influences public opinion towards DEI programs. Remarkably, a survey by UMass Amherst reveals the stark impact of racial attitudes on support for DEI initiatives. Essentially, those with negative racial attitudes show considerably less support for DEI training across various professions. Support for DEI programs was 73 percentage points lower among individuals with the most negative racial attitudes compared to those with the most positive attitudes. News 1. Consequently, this data underscores the critical need to address racial biases in discussions about DEI. Moreover, it highlights the urgency of fostering a more inclusive society where diversity and equity are valued. Racism and public support for DEI training. Indeed, the connection between racism and opposition to DEI training is undeniable. For instance, the survey shows a significant disparity in support for DEI among those who acknowledge racism's existence versus those who downplay or deny it. This gap suggests that personal beliefs and prejudices profoundly affect one's stance on DEI. Thus, tackling these negative perceptions is paramount for advancing DEI efforts. Additionally, educating the public on the benefits of DEI could mitigate some of the resistance fueled by racial prejudices. The ideological divide over colorblindness and recognition of systemic racism. Furthermore, the debate over DEI brings to light the ideological split surrounding the concept of colorblindness and the acknowledgement of systemic racism. Critics argue that striving for colorblindness in society often serves as a guise for ignoring the pervasive issue of racial inequality. Critics of these measures say they are racist. DEI opponents are quick to deny this. News 1. Therefore, this ideological divide underscores the challenge of achieving a truly inclusive society. Moreover, it emphasizes the need for open dialogue and education on the realities of systemic racism and the importance of DEI initiatives in addressing these issues. The colorblindness controversy. Indeed, the contention over colorblindness versus the recognition of racial disparities is at the heart of the DEI debate. Advocates for DEI argue that acknowledging and addressing racial differences is crucial for creating equitable opportunities for all. In contrast, opponents often claim that DEI initiatives themselves perpetuate division. Hence, this ongoing debate necessitates a balanced approach, one that respects diverse perspectives while steadfastly pursuing equity and inclusion. Furthermore, it calls for a reevaluation of our societal goals and the methods by which we aim to achieve them. Challenges to DEI and academic freedom. Lastly, the backlash against DEI poses significant threats to academic freedom and the foundational principles of education. The campaign against DEI initiatives not only challenges the promotion of diversity but also raises concerns about the suppression of free thought and inquiry within academic institutions. The debate over diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in colleges and universities has been heating up around the country. PBS. As a result, defending academic freedom becomes integral to preserving the integrity of educational institutions. Moreover, it reaffirms the commitment to fostering environments where diverse ideas and perspectives can flourish. In conclusion, the journey towards a more inclusive and equitable society is ongoing, and the role of DEI in this pursuit remains a critical point of contention and conversation. Challenges to DEI and academic freedom. In facing the backlash against DEI, academic freedom emerges as a battleground. Importantly, the push against DEI initiatives signals a broader challenge to the ethos of higher education. Therefore, the implications for free thought and inquiry are profound. Threats to academic freedom. Firstly, anti-DEI efforts threaten the core of academic exploration. For example, legislation targeting DEI can stifle discussion and learning about diversity. As a result, these actions pose a risk to the open exchange of ideas fundamental to academic institutions. Moreover, this situation underscores the urgency of defending academic freedom. Similarly, it highlights the need for educational environments that embrace diverse perspectives. Preserving the integrity of education. Furthermore, the commitment to DEI is crucial for nurturing an inclusive academic atmosphere. Thus, opposing DEI not only undermines efforts toward equality but also detracts from the richness of educational experiences. Hence, the support for DEI initiatives is essential for maintaining a vibrant academic community. Equally important, the controversy around DEI challenges us to reflect on the values that define our educational systems. Additionally, it prompts a critical examination of how we can foster environments where all students can thrive. The role of DEI in fostering inclusivity. Lastly, DEI initiatives play a pivotal role in promoting inclusivity within academic settings. Advocates argue that embracing diversity enhances the learning experience for everyone. Therefore, supporting DEI programs becomes a testament to our commitment to equity and inclusion. In conclusion, the discourse surrounding DEI, academic freedom, and educational integrity is ongoing. Moreover, this dialogue is crucial for charting the path forward in creating more inclusive academic spaces. The journey towards understanding and addressing the complexities of DEI in education continues to evolve, reflecting our broader societal aspirations for diversity and equity. About the author. Darius Spearman is a professor of Black Studies at San Diego City College, where he has been pursuing his love of teaching since 2007. He is the author of several books, including Between the Color Lines, A History of African Americans on the California Frontier through 1890. You can visit Darius online at africanelements.org.